Today we're going to briefly go over Infinite Campus and show you some highlights. The first thing I'd like to point out is on the New Teacher Tech Orientation screen, I have linked a file called New Teacher Cheat Sheet Infinite Campus. And if you pull that up, you'll see that the first page has a couple screenshots of Infinite Campus with some little arrows pointing to some of the common things that you will want to do. So this is just a little cheat sheet to help you find things quickly if you need to. On the second page of the document, it's more of a breadcrumb look to find where you find things. So there's a section for classroom teachers to show you where you find commonly used things. There's a small section for special ed teachers, and there's a little section for all. At the very bottom of the page, I have linked 4 helpful videos that I found on Campus Community to help you learn a little bit more about the new look of Infinite Campus, the teaching center, the new classroom, and then also explains the student summary information. In order to get to Infinite Campus, the easiest way is to go to our district website, which is www.mcfarland.k12.wi.us. In the upper right-hand corner, you'll see some icons. Near the right, there is a red box that has an earth with an infinity symbol around it and an S. That is the staff version of Infinite Campus. You can click there to get to the login screen. All staff log in now with a single sign-on. If you're already logged into your Gmail in your browser and clicking single sign-on will probably just open up Infinite Campus right away. Otherwise, it may give you the screen that has our district logo on it, the navy screen, and it will ask you to enter your password and your your Gmail, your email, and your network password. So moving into Infinite Campus, one thing I want to show off right at the beginning is if you are a special ed teacher that's new to the district, you will probably see something like this. This is the classic version of Infinite Campus. The classic version has 2 sides to it. It has the tool side. That's where most of our support staff, office staff, and special ed teachers work. And then there's the instruction side where the teachers work. So special ed teachers, you're probably going to be here. What I'm going to be advising all teachers, especially if you're new to Infinite Campus, is that you try the new look from Infinite Campus. They're coming out with a new interface, and they've already released it. It's been out for about a year, and for the next year, you'll be able to choose between the classic version and the new look. If you're just learning Infinite Campus, I suggest you go ahead and switch to the new look and just learn that, and then you'll be all set, and you won't have to relearn anything when they do make the switch. So in order to go to the new look, you go up to the right hand corner, your little person icon, and click it, and there's a toggle that says try new look, and you can turn this on and off as many times as you want to. So now we are in the new look of Infinite Campus, and it will look a little bit different depending on what rights you have. Over here on the left hand side, you have your main menu. There are 2 ways you can do this. You can click on the categories and it'll show you this flyout menu on the side with different subcategories with tools underneath each one. So each option has different, like Behavior Office only has 2 different things under it. Communication has a couple. The other option is to click this little grid at the top of your next where it says main menu, and it'll put it into a hierarchical kind of outline structure. So then when you open up, it opens up down and you have your little content areas with the tools underneath. So it's personal preference, whichever one you would like to use. I'm going to switch back to the flyout menus. Right next to your main menu folder here, you have this star. The star is your favorites, and you can decide what you want to be in your favorites. So I have Message Center, Roster, Attendance, Teaching Center, and Seating Charts in mine. The way you put something into your favorites is first you pull up the tool. So right now I am pulled up, I have Teacher Center pulled up, and there's this blue little star. That indicates it's in my favorites. If I unclick that, it will disappear from my favorites. If I click it again, it will appear. So if you want something to be in your favorites, you pull up the tool, click the star till it turns blue, and then it becomes in your favorites. And you also have the option to move these things around to whatever order you would like to do. So you can click on Edit. Oops. Hold on. Edit. And then you're able to drag these and put them wherever you would like. And then just say Save. The next little icon on your menu is the Recent Tools icon, and when you click on that, it shows you any tools you've accessed recently, so you can quickly get back to somewhere that you were if you would like. At the top of the screen, right above your menu, there are two things. The three little lines, horizontal lines, that's how you control your menu. You can collapse it by clicking on that, and it will go away to the side, so you can give you more room on your desktop, or you can click it again and it'll come back. You also have a search tool. This is where you would be searching for students, but also one very helpful feature is it also allows you to search for tools. So if you're having trouble finding something, say you cannot find out where the seating chart tool is, you can come to the tools, change to search, and say seating, and there it will show you that, and you can click on it, and then you can go to the seating chart tool. So always remember that you do have this tool search option available to you. Okay, now I want to move over to something new. It's changed. It's not new. It's changed a little bit. The Teaching Center used to be called the Control Center. It shows each of your courses, and you are able to do things right from here. So you can take attendance with this first little button. You can go to your assignments, and you can even grade assignments from there. You can go to your class discussions if you have any, and you can do an engagement check-in. The engagement check-in is just a quick little way to check in with your students. I created a brief one right here. I did a first day check-in. I added a couple questions. The questions are limited. You cannot add your own questions. They have a question bank. So I asked, how are you feeling? And these are the answers they would choose. And then as a follow-up, it asked them, is there anything else you would like to say? The second question was, how do you feel in class? Again, the smiley faces are their answers, and then they can also do another follow-up, is there anything else you would like to say? I can look at my response summary, and I can see that 2 people have responded and 20 have not opened it. And I can look at my student responses. And this student did not respond, but I can do the filter up here. And then I can say I want to see those that responded and apply. And I see I had one student respond, and I can see their answers right there. And then I can also use this button to go see that student's information if I would like to. Contact information, today's schedule, grades, and attendance. So that's just a cute little feature to check in with your students. Also, each of your cards, by default, this one on the right shows the default version of my little card for my algebra class. You can see on the left-hand side that it looks a little bit different. I customized it. And how you do that is you have this little gear at the top of each card, and you can click on that, and you can give it a name. So, my favorite algebra class. And I can give it a icon. So let's give it a little function icon, and I can change the color of it. So let's make this one a dark red. Whoops. Okay, and save. And now you can see that my little card changed based on my preferences. Now I'm going to skip over to special ed so the special ed teachers don't feel left out. Special ed information is found under student information, and then over here there's a special ed category. you can go to Special Ed Caseload, and it will show you all the students that are on your caseload. It shows brief information, the student's name, birth date, grade, evaluation dates, plan dates, and primary disability. If you were to click on the student's name, the highlighted link, it's going to take you to the student information section for that student. So it shows you their contact information, their emergency contact information, address, etc. And it also, you'll notice on the right-hand side here, it brings up a list of related tools. Now you'll see this in several different places in the New Look in Infinite Campus, where they show you this so that you can hop around very easily when you're working on a student. So now that I have a student pulled up, I could go and look at their grades, just the grades for that student. I could go over and look at their behavior. I could go to attendance. Again, these are things that just pertain to this student. So this is just a helpful little set of tools that apply to the student. Okay, I'm going to go back to the my special ed caseload. Now, instead of clicking on the student's name, you see there's a little folder next to it, and it says Documents. So if I click on that, it's going to pull my student up, and it's going to pull up my student special ed document tab. And I can see their IEP here. I could print it out and view it. If I have access, I can modify it. You'll also notice on the right-hand side, again here, now it's pulled up related tools that relate to special ed. So I have my special ed contact log. That'll show me any contacts I've had with this student, which there are none right now. Special ed document, we already saw. Team members, special ed team members, you can click on that and see who their team members are. And then once you finish looking at this student, you can click on your special ed caseload again and go back and look at another student if you'd like. Let's move on to attendance real quickly. Like I had mentioned, you can do attendance from your teaching center. That brings up a little flyout window on the right-hand side with a list of your students. By default, they are all marked present. You can change that to an absent or a tardy. Whenever you do either one of those, you also get this little comment bubble out here that allows you to click it and enter a comment in that will go to the office. In addition, you can also do attendance by going to instruction, and then under student, you see attendance here. Whoops. That brings up a little different look. It has the list of your students, and again, they're all present. You mark A or T, absent or tardy, and you can put a comment in. You also have the option of using a seating chart to take attendance. So up here, you can say seating chart, and I don't have one for this class, but for this class, I think I do. So this class, I had already created a seating chart, and you can see that it has all my students. It would have their pictures in here if we were in production, but this is a test site, and it does not have student pictures in there. For each student, you have the same buttons, P, A, and T. If you hit one of those buttons, the little bubble highlights, and you can again enter comment if you would like. And if you like doing the seating chart as your attendance every day instead of always switching back, you can actually set that as your default. And to do that, you go up to your little person icon, user menu in the top right-hand corner, click that and go to account settings, and you'll find a few useful settings here. There is one, the fourth one down is use seating chart for attendance. So if you click that, it would always pull up your seating chart when you went to attendance. Also, one that's kind of comes up a lot is this show active students only. If you don't want, especially at the middle school and high school level, you have students come in your class and they drop, and in your gradebook they'll show as red. If you don't want to see those red students after they're gone, you can click this button, show active students only, and you will not see those. However, you have to remember that if it's getting near to the end of the semester and somebody drops, or maybe they change classes and you need to go find their grades to pass on to the other teacher or whatever, you will not be able to see those students anymore until you uncheck this box. So I have a lot of people come and say, oh, the student dropped my class and it deleted all their grades. It didn't delete them, but if you have this hidden, if you had this checked, it will hide them from you. Another option is show student pictures. So if you do that, it'll show their picture on the roster, attendance, several different places in Infinite Campus. So those are your account settings. Lunch count. Lunch count can be found in two locations. It can be found under Instruction Reports Custom Links, but I also just recently put it under Instruction Overview, and then at the top here, depending on what school you're at, you would see the lunch icon or the lunch link. Unfortunately, at this time, I don't know a way to put that on your favorite, so you would have to come here, but when you click this, it'll take you to the lunch count spreadsheet for your school, and you would fill in the information there. Let's talk about the gradebook a little bit. I'm definitely not going to show you how to use the gradebook because that's too much, but let's go into the gradebook real quick. Couple things I want to show you on there. You have your students listed over here. I believe if you had student pictures set in your settings, they might show up here. I'm not positive about that. You'll notice that next to the student, you have these little spark lines, and that kind of shows you their progress on the assignments they have. If you click on those, it shows you some more information over here. I believe this is about the class in general. At the moment, I'm not positive what this is showing you. And this nice button right here, when you open up a student, there's a button that says Hide Others. So you can do that and it'll only show the current student. So if you wanted to call students up to your desk and show them their grades in the gradebook, but you don't want them to see anybody else's grades, you can do that. And then you can go next and it'll go down the list of your students. You'll notice also that in my gradebook, I have it highlighting my grades in colors, red meaning failing, green meaning passing. If you would like to do that, you set that up either in your account settings like we saw earlier, or just under your gradebook settings. There's a setting under preferences that says pass fail coloring settings. And you can open that up. It opens your account settings up, and you can see that I have it set for show pass fail coloring for grades and show pass coloring for scores. So grades would be your final calculated grade, and the scores would be for each assignment. So if I turned this off and saved, so now I only see it for my proficiency estimate. I don't see it for all my assignments. So you can control those separately. There's also an option under here, under preferences, to display the spark line that I mentioned earlier. So if you don't like that, you can make that disappear. Okay, that's all I'm going to show you right now under the gradebook. The next thing I'm going to talk about is something that campus just introduced. It's under your teaching center, and it's called Classroom. So Classroom is a different way of looking at your courses. So by default, if you have multiple courses, you go to your gradebook, you have a drop down, you choose the course you want to work on. If you go to attendance, you choose the course you want to do attendance on, etc. Gradebook makes everything course centric. So you select a course and then you can do everything for that course in one spot. So you'll notice right now I have it turned off. So my little cards here, they have the name, but nothing is available for me. When I go to enable Classroom, it changes my course names in my teaching center. So these are now links. And so I would click on the link for that course, and now it opens up my classroom for that course. So you can see there's a menu across the top: classroom, curriculum, students, and grades. The classroom shows you your assignments in order of what's due today, what's upcoming. You can click on these assignments and make changes to them. You can also score from right here as well. Your curriculum button is going to show, again, all of your assignments, but you can change it to just certain terms. You can do all, missing. So this is if you had assignments that had some missing assignments, unscored assignment, I've got one that needs to be scored. So this is all of your assignments, discussions, quizzes, and submissions if you have those. I don't think many teachers use that because most of that's done in Canvas, so we don't really do online submissions in Infinite Campus, but you can do that. If you click on the student up at the top, you will see your roster. I didn't talk about this too much, but on your roster, you have the names here. If you click on the link for the name, it's going to bring up your student information. First, it'll bring up basic, and then it'll let you click another link to go to more comprehensive information. You have birth dates and grades on here. You have flags, and these are the same flags that appear on the top of the student information area. If you hover over a flag, you can see what the flag's for. This one's a custody alert, no contact with dad. This one's 504, it shows you the case manager. This one is a medical life-threatening condition and a case manager IEP alert. Under the health field, these are conditions that are not life-threatening. So these, you have to click on them and it'll bring up a little box that tells you what the condition is and any other information that's needed with that. In the IEP column, you'll see here that we have some icons that look like a little piece of paper. Some are white and some are yellow. If you hover over any of them, it will tell you who the case manager is and what their email address is. If the icon is gray, it means that you do not have access to that child's IEP. You have to be on their team to have access to their IEP. If it's white, you do have access and you can click to view the IEP. And if you click on it, it will bring it up on the screen and you can view it from here. No changes can be made. You can just view it if you have access. So under students, again, we have our roster comes up, but also here on the left-hand side, you can see that you have attendance for this class. You can see locker information if that's pertinent to your school. This one, this is a 6th grade class, so we can see their locker assignment. And if we click on that, it should show us our the lockers, the serial number and the combination. That hasn't been set up yet for this year, but you would see that there. You can do your seating charts. You can either view one if it's already there, or you can create it from here. And you can create student groups. And student groups allow you to create groups, subgroups within your class, and you can assign assignments just to a subgroup as opposed to the whole class if you would like to. Under the grades tab, it opens up your gradebook for that course, and then you can do everything you could in your gradebook for that course. You just don't have the option to change, because right now, remember, we're working on science right here. And then up here, where it says science, you'll see this little drop-down box. It will let me change classes right from here in my classroom view. So I can go over and I can work on algebra. And again, now I'm in algebra, I can see all the information, grades, students, curriculum for that class. I don't have much set up for that. One other thing I'll quickly point out is the progress monitor. It's under grades, progress monitor. This is used for standards-based grading. It will show you a list of all your students and their current level of mastery for each of your standards. It shows you how many assignments and how many assignments there are and how many have been scored. So 4 out of 4 assignments are scored. Over here, only on this standard, only 1 out of 4 assignments are scored. It tells you there's unscored assignments here, and I believe you can click there and it'll open up your information about your assignments. And again, you can open these up from here and you can grade from here. Okay, and then I should be able to get out of here, but okay. Oh, and this is for my student. So this is the first student, and this is their, you can grade their assignments right here, and then you can put comments on them. Okay, and I can't see how to get out of here. So back to Progress Monitor. This also gives you the option to hide all, like we had talked about before, where you can hide the other students so you can talk to each student about their assignments. And then assignment overview is the last thing I'm going to show you on here. This gives you a look at all your assignments kind of broken down by your standards. So term 1, I have my 3 standards, and these are the assignments that I have under there. So that's like a quick overview, hierarchical overview of your assignments for this class. And that is all I have today, so I hope that's been helpful for you. Thank you.